Hi, I'm Mike Regan with TransAct's 2-Minute Warning for the week of October 26th. There are some important things happening in transportation, and you need to act now. One of the things we pride ourselves on doing is using these 2-minute warnings to keep you up to date about important issues in the transportation industry. And this week we have a very important issue. We're talking about the passage of a long-term, fully funded highway bill. We're expecting the Congress to move this legislation to the floor over the next 2 weeks, and that's why you're going to want to pay attention to what this legislation is looking like. There are 2 acts within this legislation that you need to know about, because you need to call your representatives and ask them to support the Safe Trucking Act. This is a piece of legislation that was introduced by Representative Reed Ribble and would allow states to determine if heavier trucks that would move from 80,000 up to 91,000 pounds, could move within the interstates in those particular states. Now, the second piece of legislation that we're asking you to have your representative support is known as the Transportation and Logistics Hiring Reform Act. This is legislation that was championed by Representative Duncan and would clear up a lot of the confusion associated with what you need to do before you contract with a motor carrier. Now, we're pleased to say that TIA has made a huge difference here, but the piece of legislation that has been added had one provision that we want them to strike, and that is specifically a provision which says that shippers and third parties would have no issues if they hired a carrier with a satisfactory rating in the CSA system. Now, the problem with that is that that only covers 15,000 to 17,000 carriers. Approximately 85% of the carriers in this country have no rating whatsoever, and they would not be covered under this legislation. So 2 things you need to do, and you need to do it now. Contact your representative, ask them to support the Safe Trucking Act and the Transportation and Logistics Hiring Reform Act, with the legislation in there taking out the provision regarding the satisfactory ratings language. Now, if you need more information on these particular acts, simply go to our website. We can direct you over to John Runyon's group at CTP or TIA's group, where they're talking about this important legislation. Now, with each and every 2-minute warning, we're here to remind you, we are on your team, we're here to help, and we are passionate about seeing you be successful. So make those phone calls to your representatives today. Thanks for your time.